out here anyway. They got a notification yesterday that home was probably burning down. Today, there's at least standing, not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great grandfather as of today. Granddaughter. Sometimes baby girl, baby boy. So I remember this day a lot longer.
So Joe was out in California yesterday visiting the devastating fires that are going on out there. And what does he do? Well, his usual bit. He makes it about himself instead of focusing on the people and the victims and what's happening to them. You remember back in Maui, he did the same thing where people were dealing with fires, ruining their houses. And what does he do? He tells stories about himself, or he tells stories about troubles he had, and that whole made up story about the fire destroying his house. You remember that one? What's funny is here his handlers recognize he's going into this mode again, and so they start cutting this off. He's talking about his new grandchild. He can't even remember for a second if it was a boy or a girl. And all of a sudden, the handlers are like, all right, let's shut this thing down. Here he goes again.
Thank you, press. Thank you so much, everybody. Make your way out. Thank you, press. Thank you so much. Make your way out. Make your way to the cars. Please go this way. Thank you so much. Press. We're going out this way. Thank you. Thank you, press. We're exiting. Press. We're walking out.
From experience, how devastating it is to lose your home. Several years ago, my home was struck by lightning. It didn't all burn down, but we were out of the home for 7 months while it was being repaired. The thing I was most concerned about was not just the home, was all those things. It also saved my home and my wife's life. When I was away, it was the last day that the most famous guy doing Meet the Press, the most famous guy doing Meet the Press,
i.e., I don't remember the name of the guy doing Meet the Press.
in Washington, D.C., and I was doing the program. And what happened was there was a lightning struck a little pond behind my house, hit a wire, came up through the basement of my home, and 3 stories, and the smoke literally ended up being that thick.
Yes, Alex, I'll take things that didn't happen for $200.
Literally that thick. You've seen it. You guys have seen it. I wasn't there. And my wife was there, and my dog and my cat, and my 67 Corvette.
Parked next to a pile of classified documents.
But all kidding aside, they saved my wife.
And according to the Associated Press, they responded to a fire that was contained in the kitchen and was out in 20 minutes.
And hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette. All kidding aside, they saved my wife and got her out, saved my home. Lightning struck my house. We had to be out of that house for about 7 months while it was repaired because so much damage was done to the house and half the house almost collapsed. You know, and you wonder what's going to happen. And they ran into flames, saved my wife and saved my family. Not a joke.